The sheet was a clean one after the travel to Bristol. Welcome to Where the Addicks Walk with myself, Luke, and alongside me today we've got Alan, Timmsy, Steve, and Dave. We'll be talking all things Charlton. So, Steve, point on the road. Can't complain.
No, can't complain. It was a good, solid performance, particularly defensively. I mean, we didn't look like having too much difficulty with what Bristol had to throw at us. I mean, going off their result from the first week as well, I expected us to be under the cosh for a lot, and we did start that way. But I think Jones kind of rejigged his stack a little bit, and the defenders were just top class. Probably the only concern for me is little bit going forward, looked maybe a bit toothless at times, but point on the road. It's a first away game. That's spot on. That's exactly what we wanted.
Yeah, it was an encouraging performance, wasn't it, Alan? Nice, got good battles in there, and seems quite encouraging.
Yeah, we got told a pressing team from the start anyway. So they're very much like us. They passed it round at the back. The first 10 minutes, tried to hit the balls, hit the channels, and you think, we've got under control on that. The main threats was Twine and Maheti, other than a shot that apparently went wide the post. That's fairly forward straight half in the first half. And we got back into it that way.
Yeah, Timmsy, happy with a point?
Very happy with it. I mean, there was some stand-up performances. Kayne Ramsay being probably top. Some of the last-ditch tackles, or just the way he was running that side was really good to watch. And I felt that TC, Tyrese Campbell, stepped up a bit more this week compared to last week, which was good to see. It would just be nice to get Kelman a bit more on the ball and play a bit more to his strengths. I mean, that's probably the only negative out of the whole game, I would say.
What about you, Dave? Was it a happy away day?
Yeah, I think so. The highlights for me were like, as you already mentioned, Ramsay. He was just outstanding. We'll be lucky to hang on to him. I think. I think hopefully we'll be all right come the 2nd of September. But and then Rob Apter. I think he really showed that he's got something special about him. And he didn't seem too overawed. But I think obviously Bristol City were a bit worried about him putting two men on him at a time every time we were going to attack. So, but because I saw him play in the Cambridge game in pre-season, and he looked a bit like, he's a slight guy, and he looked like he was getting hustled and bustled off the ball. But yesterday, what was quite pleasing is he sort of held his own. He seemed a bit more physical about him. So, for a winger, really, that's good.
Yeah, definitely needed in the Championship as well. Tough league.
Yeah, to have players in and around the attacking line that can, they look like they can score goals when needed. It's just going to come through playing together. It's their second game they've played together. We forget that, and I think once they start getting in a groove and seeing everything, where the little runs are in between them, we've got the backbone of a defence, so it's really encouraging.
Yeah, definitely. I think another thing that is always a positive when you start a season is to start the season strong. And there's two unbeaten now, Alan, in the league, and 3 in the cup. Is that right in saying?
Yeah, beat Stevenage in the cup as well. So good for the fringe players there to get the run out, but. Yeah, people are going to muck up a lot of bets this season, because people are going to, like Bristol City has now done. They're going to beat Charlton, and we're going to surprise a lot of teams. Good thing, looking at stuff online, Bristol City said, if we had nicked a goal, we probably would have deserved it in the second half performance.
Yeah. What do you think, Steve? Happy with the start to the Championship season?
Yeah, I mean, 2 clean sheets in the league is more than I would have expected at this stage. I mean, I saw something just about an hour ago which said that we've in league games with 5 clean sheets in a row now. If you go back into last season and with the playoffs and everything as well, so we've got the solid backbone there, as others have been saying, and it's just going forward. My slight concern, and it is slight, and I realise we're only 2 games into the season, is the TC and Kelman working together. I think it maybe is a little lightweight at times. I'd perhaps like to see a Leeburn or a Tanto up there with Kelman, perhaps giving that kind of big option, someone to hold the ball up a little bit more, and someone for Kelman to play off. Maybe that's going to happen in the weeks to come. But yeah, at this point, can't complain. It's 4 points. It's 2 clean sheets. It's a great start.
Yeah, 100%. This week has been a lot about the outgoings, not as much as the ingoings this week. I think it seems like there's been quite a few players gone out on loan, Timmsy.
Yeah. I mean, it started off with Isenway, Nathan Isenway. He joined Wimbledon, and he scored in the first game, and he got assist in the last league game as well. Seemed to be really performing for them, which is really good to see. We're slightly light on the right wing back space, so if we can bring one of our own up, hopefully, maybe a recall in January, we don't know. But if we don't get one in the window and we seem to get an injury or something, it may be something we can look at recalling. And then we've had a Hamadmi Gasson go out to Stevenage, scored with his first touch, which is a surprise to us all. And then we also had Kareem Dixon, who's a very young lad from Jamaica. And he's full vibes, like he's just full smile constantly. And all looking at Crawley kind of comments, it looks like they're liking what they're seeing so far, but they're losing at the moment. But hopefully they can turn their fortunes.
Yeah, early on, isn't it? I think another big thing for teams, especially in the Championship, because it's all about that development and that growth, is loaning the youth out, because it's all about minutes, isn't it, Dave? Is there a few youth prospects that you think will be getting loans out before the window closes?
Yeah, well, I think possibly, like, I think Canoe might do, because he's always a player that promises, and he does have flashes of brilliance, but he's never really had that full run. You know, we've had other players around in the second half of the season last season that demanded those positions because, you know, they were performing. So I think they're going to struggle a bit, because, you know, looking at someone like Leeburn, he seemed to, last season towards the end, he looked like he was a bit disinterested in some games, but this season I've noticed he's come on and he's got a bit more hunger back in his game, probably because he's got those other players around him like Alofe and you know, these other players at forwards that have come in. So yeah, I could possibly see a couple other, you know, I'd say maybe one other, because I didn't realise until the kick-off last season, last week, that you get 9 subs on the bench, which is, you know, so suddenly you've got to have quite a decent sized squad. So maybe like Mbic will go out on loan or something. But him or Canoe, I think, have always been sort of touted around by Nathan Jones.
Well, that's the outgoings, Alan. What about the incomings? Who, if there's not long now, you know, is it until the window closed? Who would you be looking to bring in, or what sort of positions would you like to bring in?
Touched it last week, the wing-back position. I mean, Terry Taylor of midfield's gone out on loan as well. We've had a couple of staff go out as well, which is James Brain going to Sunderland. He's our set-piece coach, and performance director was Will Abbott. So we've had quite a lot of staff as well. So interesting to see that. We've got Danny Hilton's now taken over as the set-piece coach. So hopefully he's picked up a lot from James Brain. Touching on Canoe, I think once Godden's potentially up and running, Canoe will go out and Zach Mitchell placed on Burke, maybe. But definitely right wing back, but Rankin Costello can cover in at right wing back as well. So he might want to save some pennies till January.
Yeah. See what position you're sitting in, see if you're close to the playoffs, maybe. Which I think all Charlton fans would definitely take. Right, today we've got a new feature that we're going to do every week. and it's called Tweet of the Week. Okay, so I'm going to read out a tweet and we are going to discuss it. So the tweet I have found today this was after the game against Bristol. It was really wish people would stop saying Charlton come for a point, because they didn't. They came to win and they were very unfortunate not to, really. What I want to discuss with that is a newly promoted team coming up from League One to the Championship. Is it a bad thing, even if you do play for a point away, Timmsy? I mean, you collect more points away. It's further away from the relegation zone, aren't you?
There is, yeah, you got that way of looking at it. A point on the board is a point away from the bottom. But Nathan Jones, even though people say he sits back or whatever, he never plays for a point. He always pushes for a win. No matter what, he doesn't bring on substitutions. He calls them game changers or finishers, because he likes to push for the ring. And when you're bringing on the likes of Tanto and Lee Byrne towards the end of the game with a stretched, tired defence, that's why we're top of the charts in all leagues for 90-minute goals, because we always push for the win towards the end. We strive for a win, but obviously we're not going to turn our nose up to a point away, that's for sure, especially for a side who got into playoffs.
Definitely. Is that a worry though, Dave, when you do throw caution to the wind late on? Is it a worry you can concede the other end, can't you?
I don't think so. I think first and foremost, he's got the defence where he wants it, and the pressing game is throughout the field. It's not just up front, and I think he's always been about bringing on impact players towards the end. So I echo what Timmsy said, is that he won't just go for a draw. Although, you look at someone like Mourinho, and he says in his Chelsea winning years, you go to the bigger clubs and you go for a draw, and then you take them back to yours and win. So, look, it's early days, but, I'm really happy with a goalless draw away from home against Bristol City, who, let's face it, were right up there in the playoffs last season.
Yeah. Definitely. What about you, Steve? You happy with the sort of go to the end, 90 minutes, Nathan Jones sort of style? You happy with that sort of mentality from the manager?
Yeah, I mean, I think he sets up a team that he thinks is going to win a game of football from the start. He then manages the game as it goes on. So he's changing things. There was a few things I remember when he first came in being levelled at him that he was a bit of a one-trick pony. There was no kind of adaptation in his style, but he has adapted. He does make the changes as they're needed, and we are, as others are saying, bringing on the big guys at the end to kind of those tiring defenders to give them an extra workout in the opposition. I mean, I'd take this over a few seasons ago where it was an almost guarantee that we were going to concede in the 94th minute every week. I think there was about 6 weeks in a row that we lost in the last minute of the game. So I'll take grinding out a draw and being another point. Being 4 points off the relegation point after 2 games is already fantastic. We're in the top half of the table. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, 100%. Thank you very much, boys. I think that leaves us in a very optimistic place, which I think is good to hear from Charlton fans. I think that's where I think we need to be as a club, definitely. So thank you, Alan. Thank you, Timmsy. Thank you, Steve, and thank you, Dave. Thank you for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe, and we shall see you